Okay, y'all hear me? What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time Show. Here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And guess what, guys? The Knicks just beat the Bucks, and we are headed to the corner finals of the Cubs game. That's right, we beat them 118 to 109. Josh Hart played very well for his first start of the season with 19 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. All right, Karl-Anthony Towns gives you 9 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. Deuce McBride gives you 19 points and 2 rebounds. Brunson gives you 37 points and 5 assists. Cal gives you 14 and 2 steals. And Kolek chips in with 5 points on the night. The Knicks defense clamps down in the fourth quarter, holding the Bucks to 21 points. And we were the conga line at the free throw line. The Knicks got 33 free throws with 25 for the Bucks. And the Knicks win, getting revenge on the Bucks and advancing to the next round of the Cup. So let's talk about it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But a lot of good to talk about today on one of the Knicks' most impactful wins of the season so far. So let's get to it, man. Let's talk about it. Before we talk about it, I'm going to introduce you to the peoples. First and foremost, I'm going to introduce you to the Latin Assassin, ESPN contributor, posting and toasting contributor, Bleacher Report contributor, my man Lee Escobedo. What's good, Lee?
What's good, JLSB? Ryan, typically when you have a guard, a third stringer that's buried at the end of the bench, they don't possess a skill set that's extraordinary. They certainly typically don't possess a skill set of what my fellow Latinos call cojones. But Tyler Kolek, my friends, absolutely has cojones of steel. That just comes in the game. Is not afraid to take any shot or make any pass. And I'm damn happy that he is now part of our rotation.
Yeah, now backup point guards, searching for backup point guards. I think that's dead. It's dead for me. It's officially today. It should be dead, and that should be put to bed. Next, we have our girl, ex-AAU coach, Be the Motivator. Was good, B.
Hi guys, how you doing? First of all, happy holidays. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, happy holidays.
And I always love revenge. It's always best served when you can get it back at them. So it was a nice win today. I'm excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. And of course, already know is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Glad to see the Knicks win tonight. Glad to see the Knicks advance to the NBA Cup. You already know me. I want the Knicks to win everything in sight. So you know what? 2025, I'm leaving here with something.
Let's go.
Leaving here with something.
Leaving here with something. All right, let's get this chip, damn it. There's a lot of people to talk about. There's a few people to talk about, really. But I'm going to start out once again talking about Josh Hart. Now, Josh Hart is interesting because he's officially been shooting better than Karl-Anthony Towns from the three-point line. He came to this game averaging 38% from three, while Karl-Anthony Towns was averaging 32%. And I think Josh Hart was aware of that today because he did not hit a three at all. Not a one, not even the open ones. But that's okay. Today, Josh Hart was tasked with the hardest assignment on the floor, guarding Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I feel like it had a couple of mixed results, but when the game was on the line in the fourth quarter, I feel like he did a pretty good job holding out, and I felt like the team did a pretty good job helping him out. And that defense and the way we rotated and the way we shut the Bucks down really contributed to the win because, like I said, when we started the game, the Bucks only scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, and even though he was held on the island with Giannis Antetokounmpo, he held up and he scored a lot, man. He had fast break points once again. Josh Hart in the open floor is the best Josh Hart you will ever see. Defensively, it was up and down. I didn't like his overhelping sometimes, but at the same time, you got to give him props for the 3 steals because he's out in transition with the steals. He's getting open breaks. And overall, the game was a great game by Josh Hart. 15 rebound game, 19 points, 3 steals.
Wow.
Even with the criticisms you have, you step back and you look at the numbers like, well, damn, we had a damn good game. Like, what can you say? He was guarding Antetokounmpo, and he got a double-double with 3 steals. I'll take that any day of the week. So I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your guys' thoughts on Josh Hart. I'm gonna start with Beast.
Josh Hart is tricky. Because I wasn't a big fan of keeping him in the starting lineup, and when we started off the season a little rough, and then he was rough as well, it was hard to vouch for him to be in any position, let alone the starting lineup. But he has been playing tremendous ever since we've been talking smack about him. So I got to give him his props when it is. I don't like to debate anybody who's guarding Giannis. That's somebody who can. I don't know too many people in the NBA who can guard him. And Josh Hart is not known to be a guy who stops your best player. So I think for someone who stepped up to do something that was kind of impossible, he did a really decent job defending Giannis today. Overall, yes, he struggled from the 3-pointer, but I like the shots that he took. I don't think even with the shots that he missed from 3 were bad 3-point shots. It just wasn't falling today. They've been falling every other day, so you're gonna have a game where they don't fall, especially when you're not a 3-point specialist. Josh Hart, that's another thing. He does a little bit of everything that leads to the fact of the type of player that he is, but he's not the type of guy that is really good at one thing besides rebounding, of course. So I like when he is really good at something, and today he was very great in the paint today. He did a very decent job on Giannis, and I think that it's tricky with him because once I saw Mitch come in, I'm like, wait, Mitch should start. Then Josh Hart come back, and I'm like, wait, Josh should start. It's tricky, but if Josh plays like this, I have no problem with him in any position that we put him in.
Agree. Like, he wanted to start, and I was like, I don't know, Josh, I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe that little benching gave him some motivation because he's turning up a gear that wasn't even there last year to me. To be honest with you, this is something different that I haven't even seen before. To me, huh?
So you think so?
Yeah, I think I feel like the last 2 games outside the Bucks games,
he has been a little different.
The best defensive games I've seen Josh Hart play before. Like, and like another 3 straight games with multiple steals. Is that like a Josh Hart thing? I don't usually see him doing that. That's something new to me.
And he was shooting like 44% from 3, right, or something like that.
Yeah, he's been shooting 44% from 3 for the North in November, and he's shooting 38% from free right now. I think it's the steals and the defense or something different that I really haven't seen before.
No, you're right. You're right.
All right. I don't know what you thinking, Ryan. What do you think of the game, or maybe you have something else you want to add?
Yeah, Josh Hart definitely had a good game today. Not going to fault him too much on guarding Antetokounmpo because Antetokounmpo got him by like 7 inches. Like, pause. You know, so yeah, I had to clarify that right quick. I had to throw the pause in there, but yeah, so it was a severe height mismatch. So you can't really, Giannis had 30, 15, and 8, so you can't really blame, Josh Hart for, Giannis for giving up those kind of numbers to Giannis. So like B said, Giannis is one of the best players in the league. Not many players in the NBA can even guard Giannis. Not even players that are his height can guard him. So the fact that he's like 7 inches shorter than him and was able to at least like hold his own, you gotta definitely give him props for that. But yeah, overall 19 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. Again, he's leaving it all on the line on the court. But overall with the game, I thought the first half defense, maybe majority of the third quarter, I didn't like the defense, especially the 3-point defense.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, they were giving up a whole lot of open threes, and that's what caused the Bucks to go off in the first half with the 3-point shot, which helped them to get out to that early lead. But I feel like they tidied it up a lot in the fourth quarter down the stretch, and then clutch baskets from Deuce McBride, him getting in that 3-point shot was a big shot.
Deuce
got the Knicks out of a hole with the Bucks coming back into the game, and big body Brunson do what he does late in the game to seal the game, especially with that and one. Overall, it was a great game by the Knicks, and just getting revenge on the Bucks for the loss early in the season. It was good to see, and yeah, that's all we gotta say. But good game for the Knicks.
The threes is killing me. I will say the threes in the first half specifically was killing me. I don't know what you guys thought about the threes. They was killing me.
I want to give a shout out to Phil Porto in the chat. What's up, Phil? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Love seeing you in the chat. Holding things down, shouting out people in the chat. Man, you're a great KOT, brother. Every NBA team has an X Factor player. Well, let me say this. Every contending NBA team has an X Factor player. If you think about the Houston Rockets, if this player goes off, very hard to beat him, right? Jabari Smith Jr. is that guy for Houston. Alex Caruso is that guy for OKC. When Boston was a contender, Peyton Pritchard was that guy. For us, it's Josh Hart. And what makes him so dangerous is it doesn't have to be him shooting 44% from three. If he's able to be a one-man transition team, force turnovers, and get steals, I don't know how you stop us because you have to send to the ball when Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns has it. Hell, you can make the same case for Mikal Bridges the way he's been playing this season. So when Josh Hart is giving you that extra oomph off the bench, not just in points, but assists and rebounds, damn it, man, we can beat just about anybody in the NBA. And B and I have had many debates about size, pause, in the backcourt, and about she has since changed her opinion that you can win a championship with Deuce and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt. But history does show you that undersized backcourts rarely win. You have to go all the way back to the Detroit Pistons in the late 80s, early 90s. But even though we're a small team, somehow we're so dominant on the boards, both offense and defense. Isn't that strange that we have such a small rotation off the bench? Some can make an argument that if one man's down, say OG, we have a very small starting lineup with Bridges at the 4 and Josh at the 4. They're kind of interchangeable. And then Deuce and Brunson, yet we still dominate on the board against a fairly large team pause in Milwaukee. I'm doing this on purpose for President. I know he hates the pause. I think that's a very beautiful thing. And Josh Hart, to me, is the greatest example of that. He is a paradigm of playing bigger than what you actually are. And his ability to rebound and second chance points was crucial against a team that you don't want to let them to get out in transition. Because I noticed they had a lot of trouble even getting into their sets because they don't really have a true table setter on that roster. And Cole-Anthony, absolute bum. I was really disgusted by his. I thought he just played absolutely horrible shot selection, where he shot on the floor, not looking for his team, looking off his teammates. I'm not a fan of his game at all, and I never wanted him to come to New York. But they really had trouble getting to their sets. So you don't want them getting out in transition because that's when they start taking those above the break threes and getting out in easy layups. You don't want them to do that. You want to force them into a half court and try to set all those double drag off ball BS to try to Giannis driving and then spray out to the shooters. Eliminate that, right? Or force them into that and eliminate the easy transition buckets. We did an excellent job. I thought Josh Hart was paramount to that as well. Transition defense, solid. Fourth quarter defense on Giannis. You can't stop Giannis, but if you don't let him do the seal, let him do the seal where he is forced to also put the dribble down. Not seal, catch, layup that he does every game for 82 games in the season. And I thought Josh Hart did a good job of putting him in angles where he got the seal, caught it, and then was forced to dribble, and that's where the devil came and blitzed him, and he turned the ball over, and then now we're in transition. So Josh Hart was brilliant on so many levels tonight. He just said the Timbs in the hard hat, in my opinion.
The Timbs in the hard hat goes to Josh Hart. He leaves it.
Yeah, he got it.
You can't
get it?
Yeah, he got it. Yeah,
can't be mad at that. You hold Josh Hart, you hold Giannis Antetokounmpo to a low scoring fourth quarter. You can't even really debate that. You can't.
Sneaky pick could have been Tyler Kolek though.
If Tyler Kolek played 30 minutes, maybe.
Hard hat, damn.
Oh my gosh! If there was a hard hat for playing 2 minutes of defense, it might be Tyler Kolek.
The day Tyler Kolek gets the hard hat in Tim's, the Knicks win the championship. That ever happened. The Knicks win the championship. That ever happened.
I was gonna hold on.
The day Jalen Brunson gets it, that's
the day.
That's the day.
That's the day. The day Jalen Brunson gets it is the day. First of all, lead cuts on the 3-point. Like I feel like we did lose the rope in the first half with the 3-point transition defense wasn't good. I felt like the closeouts wasn't good in that first quarter.
Awful.
But it was awful. That's when it really started to get us in trouble. But man, Kolek's minutes, Deuce's minutes, those guys' minutes really, really stood out to me. And all right, I have to say this, man. I think everybody else might be on the same page at this point, especially Ryan G, who's kind of been saying it for a minute. The backup point guard search is over.
Yeah.
It's done. It's officially over. We do not need to use any assets to get any backup point guard in the Knicks uniform. The job is yours, bro. It is, because the type of defense I saw today was freaking crazy. First of all, the way he was navigating screens today was like insane. Insane. Challenging shots, insane. Running full speed, guarding quicker people, insane. Getting back in transition, causing a steal when I thought that play was a lost play, insane. Tyler Kolek, man, you did not give me a headache. The tie-in-all was working today. I love the 3-point pull-up shot you had today. The job is yours, bro. Don't call it Javion Carter, whoever else John Rose is calling.
Ellis.
Bang on his agent. It's a wrap. Does anybody else want to add to that?
We also have a guy named Ding Payne in the G League that we also don't have to worry about the guard position. So shout out to Lee for putting me on to that. Yeah, shout out to Ding Payne. So yes, but we have people like Tyler Kolek, Ding Payne, and we also have Miles McBride playing like this. There's no need for anybody. I don't see the necessary need, especially when we have Jalen Brunson playing like an MVP, and we're going to continue that because the campaign did start tonight. It started tonight. 37 points, I believe. Yeah, 37 points.
37 points.
37 points. And I like Kolek's. There's certain people that he plays meshes well with, and of course, my main man, Mikal Bridges. Him and Mikal Bridges play very well together. So I like also, we talk about his defense, but his facilitation is amazing. The way he looks for people and he gets people open, or he gets the extra pass where it needs to belong, is amazing. I know Karl Towns, he's not quite the guy anymore, but he even got him a nice little lob in there. He got Mikal some shots up. I like his facilitation more than anything. I like his energy. And yeah, I'm one person that I always throw him in. I only throw him in, and I want to make this clear, for the sole fact of I know his talent, and I personally feel like we're not going to use him that much. So let's get his talent and let's get something in reverse. I'm not against Tyler Kolek because I think he sucks. That is far from anything. I do not believe that Tyler sucks. He's good, which is why I believe that if he was given a chance, he would prosper, and he's not going to get that chance with having a Jalen Brunson and having a Miles McBride over him. So I always felt, let's free him up and let's go get somebody in return that we could use more. But if he's going to play like he's a vet, like I played 4 years in college, I don't need no more time, just give me some NBA minutes, I'm cool with him sticking around.
You know, I kind of feel like Lee tonight. I have a hot take.
Okay.
Oh boy, wait a minute, hold on.
In the playoffs this year, Tyler Kolek is going to come up big in one of these games in the playoffs when needed. And this is why I say this, because it dates back to when Brogdon went out with retirement and that backup point guard spot was open. Tyler Kolek rose up to the occasion in that preseason game and showed that he was worthy of taking that backup point guard spot, but at the time we still weren't sure because of his defense and and other flaws that we were looking at. We were like, we're not sure he can take over that backup role. So that kind of shows me right there he got hard. Tonight's game, again, it's not the huge stage in terms of like playoffs per se, but still huge stage as in, this is more than just a regular season game. This is an NBA Cup game. The Knicks need to win this game to advance to the quarterfinal. And the way he stepped up tonight and played the way he played, he's not even known as a defender, but he played really solid defense when needed. That tells me right there, the kid got heart.
Yeah.
He has heart, and he rises up to the occasion if you give him the minutes, which is why I said what I said, that in the playoffs, I believe there's going to be a game where the Knicks are going to need somebody to come off the bench to perform, and he's going to have at least one big game in the playoffs this season.
I can calling it now.
I can maybe if it gets
I can see
why the Kolek fall off was
foul trouble.
Huh?
I said I can see like the Detroit series, Jalen getting into some foul trouble and him having to come in.
Listen, why the Kolek fall off in Summer League was so shocking to a lot of fans was because he showed the propensity to hit big shots
Mm-hmm.
and had big cojones and step up in the moment last season. Like there was a contingent of fans saying he needs minutes, he needs to play. Because of he was showing up in summer league and in preseason. We felt like that's something like that can translate. So when summer league started and he laid a dud and he looked like he was nervous and scared, we was like, whoa, this is year 2. What's happening here? And it feels good now to see what we saw last year come back to this season. And it started in preseason when he was playing with Malcolm Brogdon. He outshot Malcolm Brogdon in preseason, and that was carrying over to now. So it's a chance. There's a lot of guard depth here, so I'm not sure if it's a sure thing, but there is a chance that something like that could happen for sure. For sure.
I want to speak to this comment right here. Shout out Jeff, man. That's my main brother right there from a Dope Soul Sports. I try my best to support the channel when I'm not doing KOT. Love to see you in the chat, bro. Thanks for being here. I disagree with this. I think the answer is already there. I think he can be. And he can be it without even having to play every game because we have so much guard depth. We have so many playmakers outside of Jalen Brunson, guys who can create shots for themselves, which we have not had in the past. I'm speaking specifically to Jordan Clarkson, even though tonight he was absolute cheats, no pause. And then we also have guys at Mikal Bridges who have shown a whole nother level to their playmaking game. Shout out, be the motivator. That's her boyfriend, future husband, fiance. But I think it's like Kolek can be paired with another type of player that does other things to where he can be on ball, setting the table, or off ball as a catch and shoot 3. His 3-pointer to me is the only thing that has yet to really come around where I can trust him to be an every gamer, where it doesn't matter what the matchup is. You know that 3-point shot's going to be there in the corner or above the break. He hasn't shown that yet, but the defensive upside, the playmaking upside, the mid-range upside, attacking the basket upside, those things are making me feel like, yeah, I think he can be a part of the rotation because he does 2 things really well. The same way, Jeff, that we talked about Deuce. And I told you Deuce to start and he's a shooter because he shoots at an extremely high level and he defends at an extremely high level. Tyler Kolek passes at a very high level and he's clutch at a very high level. It don't matter what game it is, preseason, summer league, NBA. If he's in there, he's not afraid to shoot that ball. Now, did he hit the 3? That's a big question. But being able to have 1 or 2 elite qualities as a guard at the end of the bench, that's a luxury.
I buy the shot. I buy the predicate asked to be blocking you. Never predicate. What the hell? You're one of our biggest supporters. No, I definitely buy the shot. I even though he hasn't shot well per se, the shot looks good, the form looks good. It's gonna fall. It's just a matter of time. If he gets the reps, the shot's gonna come. I'm not worried about that at all. For sure. Also, what was he saying? Oh man, I had a thought. I had it right there, and I lost it. All right. I lost it. There was something else he was saying about Tyler Kolek and the point guard by committee. Yes, Mikal Bridges has been the de facto point guard beforehand. And to be honest, before Shaman went down, we was doing the point guard by committee thing. I still felt like we were okay. Like I didn't feel like we had problems bringing the ball up. I didn't feel like we had problems scoring. I didn't feel like we had problems getting to sets, even without Tyler Kolek. Before when Shaman was, and then when Tyler came into the lineup, it was like, okay, we have like an extra little point guard now who can actually get us in our sets easier, who can actually set up people in transition easier. So I'm not worried about the point guard position at all. Like I'm not losing any sleep over that at all. And who else I'm not leaving sleep over is Jalen freaking Brunson, who B talked about earlier. I saw B's tweet talking about he's gonna have an MVP type game, and she was absolutely right. And it's funny because I'm watching this game, knowing we're coming into season, thinking we need to pass more, we need to have more passes per game, we need to diversify the offense. And it's funny watching Jalen Brunson because sometimes it's like, man, can we just move the ball around a little bit more? But then at the same time, it's like, he's cooking these dudes. You can't stop him. What are you going to do with this anyway? It's like for the whole third quarter, it was just Jalen Brunson's taking turns, barbecue chickening, and whatever type of defense they showed on him. And the crazy part is when I'm watching him in Dallas, I'm thinking, yeah, he needs some room. He needs to 5-out offense because he needs room to work and spread the court for him. He's doing this with 2 or 3 dudes dripped over him. He's doing this with 34 dribbles, no space, shooting threes in people's eye. He's doing it every which way. I'm thinking, bro, you're exerting too much energy, Jalen. I'm the only one who thinks that. Jalen Brunson doesn't think that at all because he's still dropping it efficiently. And I'm just like, all right, well, just go off, man. Just go off. And it got to the point where he was carrying our offense, and he was so effective that when it came to the fourth quarter, he forced the doubles. And then, what do you know? Boom, Josh Hart splitting the double, open threes. So even without, sometimes your great player is the damn system, yo.
I mean, Milwaukee.
Just like James Harden said, I'm
watching this game like I want more passes in the third quarter, but then he was so damn good they were forced to double and he created open shots anyway. Sometimes your great player is the freaking system, man. That's just what it is. Because in the fourth quarter came, he started to get the ball up and we blew the game open, and that's the greatness of Jalen Brunson.
Before we move on to Jalen Brunson, somebody made a comment about Tyler Kolek's stats in just 10 minutes. If I'm not a big stat person, I'm going to always emphasize that on this thing because sometimes it doesn't tell the whole game. You have to watch the impact. When Tyler Kolek got in the game, he did things that we needed at that time, which is why we are praising him at this moment. The big 3 that he hit in that moment was very much needed. So at that time, he only had 2 points, but he needed 3 more, and that's why he was very important on the court at that time. We also needed a steal at this time, and he got that, which is why it was very important at that time. So sometimes if you look at the game, like, oh, he only had 5 points in 10 minutes and 1 assist. It was how he got those things, and when he got them, that is why we're sitting here praising him at this moment.
Exactly. The difference between stat watching and watching the damn game. Sometimes.
All facts.
I don't know if anybody else had anything else to add about the Jalen Brunson game or anything else.
Yeah, I brought this up before early in the season. I think one of the things that's making him so effective is that Van Gundy called this out too. You're seeing, actually, most people have called this out on different broadcasts. You're seeing more defenders spinning up their player full court, like the entirety of a court to slow them down and make them get into their offensive sets later in the shot clock, which it's strategy. This is kind of a new thing that we're seeing, or a return to form from the 70s. But I think one of the things that's helped the Knicks is that Jalen Brunson has not had to be that person to break that press, because now we're having Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges bring the ball up. And then they give Jalen Brunson the ball at the three-point line. So Brunson kind of jogged up court, not having to spend a lot of energy or breath, but also not having to over-dribble too, and kind of like get stuck on the ball. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not speaking from personal experiences, the eye test. Sometimes when you over dribble, it's hard to give it up after that because you start trying to get in a rhythm and say, okay, I saw these couple moments where I had my guy go for my jab or my fake. Now I'm going to keep on doing that and pump until I pull up in that mid-range or pull it to the basket. So getting him off ball earlier in sets has initiated our offense quicker when we're in a half court. And I've loved that because now Jalen Brunson can kind of be a screener initially, or he can just take the ball and then do that 45 cut and find someone who has a nice seal, whether it's Cat or Josh Hart. We saw that. We saw different guys doing that. We saw Cat running those 45 cuts. We saw Bridges and Josh Hart running that 45 cut. So doing different wrinkles to the offense that aren't like, brainiac, high IQ plays, but just simple things to get Brunson off ball without him being on a bench, I think is key to him maintaining his energy in the fourth quarter, so he can be Captain Clutch when we need him. And honestly, B was right. This is, we've all said MVP campaign is absolute serious consideration this year. I think he's top 3 right now. There's a couple guys that Kate Cunningham, man, y'all know how I feel about him. That's my guy from Dallas. It's real close right now between them because both their teams are doing really well and they're both the engines of their offense. But I think that would probably give Brunson the edge right now, because the reason that we've adapted so quickly to Mike Brown is because no one's adapted quicker than Jalen Brunson to this new offense.
All good points. Anything else to add, Ryan? Or you just want to move on?
I think B and Lee both said a lot about Jalen Brunson. Probably the only other thing I'm going to add is that, as you know, I've said a lot on this podcast that I'm a big proponent of passing the ball, moving the ball to offense and things of that nature. But although there was not a lot of ball movement today and Jalen Brunson really took over the game when needed, I'm also the proponent of you do what works. And if Brunson is cooking these dudes, then you allow him to continue to cook those dudes. So that's what he did tonight. And I think they said during the broadcast as well, like Jalen Brunson is averaging like 36 points against the Bucks in his last, I think,
Yes.
5 games or something like that. So Brunson's used to cooking the Bucks anyway. He has their number. Nobody on that team can really stop him anyway. But there is something that I saw that, that is very interesting, and I think it's going to give Mike Brown like something to think about in the future when the team becomes fully healthy. Because late in the game, the Bucks started to double Jalen Brunson, and with a big and a guard or two bigs, they kind of rotated the double teams and things of that nature. And every time Jalen Brunson was in a double team, Josh Hart was at the elbow and he passed it to Josh Hart. Then Josh Hart operated the offense from that standpoint and picked out the right passes to get other guys baskets. And Josh Hart was really effective at that. So I think when OG comes back and the team gets fully healthy, like OG Shaman comes back, I do think it's going to give Mike Brown something to think about, because I did like how Josh Hart operated within that elbow area and was passing the ball to his teammates and getting them open shots and things of that nature. And I think that if a team is doubling Brunson, if a team is doubling Brunson late in games, it's making me think that Josh Hart might be essential to keep on the court with that final 5 to close out games. So I think it's a good problem to have, because you're gonna have a lot of players that you can put into the games in late game situations, and you can trust them to actually make plays and things of that nature if they double Brunson. But I just think it's interesting to see, because I don't know, me personally, I think that Josh Hart is really playing his way into a more important role onto the team as of late, and it's just making me think a bit, especially when the team gets fully healthy.
That's you talking about hot takes. That's the hot take. You pretty much said you want OG on the bench in the fourth quarter for John Martin.
Nah, I didn't say OG. No, OG's not getting benched. I didn't say OG's going to be on the bench.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
But I'm just saying that it's going to make Mike Brown think. I think it's going to make him think a bit with the way Josh Hart's been performing as of late. That it's like it's going to cause a conundrum. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying like you keep Josh Hart out there, or you put him on the bench in late game situations. I'm just saying it's going to make him think a bit with the way he's been performing as of late.
Listen, the performances of some of these guys in the absence of Shamet, in the absence of OG Anunoby, is going to have raised some questions moving forward for a lot of people. Let's move on to Deuce McBride, man. Let's talk about it.
Hell yes.
Been talking about Deuce starting on this program for a minute. All right, maybe last season. Finally felt like, you know what, he'll get a chance this season. Didn't really happen. He's starting now and shooting the freaking lights out the ball. 5 from 5 from 3 last game. 100%. There was people saying last season was his down season, the year before was a fluke. He's shooting 40% from free right now. Today he shot a 3 from the damn logo. All right, Tyler Kolek and Deuce McBride blew the game open in the fourth quarter, putting the Bucks into panic mode. Deuce has been producing as a starter, not on just the defensive end, but provided the spacing that Jalen is needed throughout the game. And not only throughout the game, clutch moments. You talking about Tyler Kolek clutch gene. Deuce has a clutch gene. How many big shots have we seen Deuce hit in the last week since he's been in the starting lineup? Even today, he's hit a couple of clutch shots. Like he's had a knack for hitting big threes in big moments. If you have his feet set and you get him a wide open shot in the fourth quarter, at this point, I'm surprised if it doesn't drop. So Deuce, man, he with all our players back, it's gonna be. This is a good problem to have for a coach, to have so many guys who's been effective in this stretch when guys haven't been available. And there's a lot of people to consider for more minutes, bigger roles. And Deuce is one of them. Kolek is one of them. Josh is one of them. This is a great problem to have. That's it. And anybody else? Go ahead, Z. Go ahead, B.
I think the biggest issue with a lot of things is once basketball ends, that drought that we have for such a long time is tough, especially if you're a big basketball fan. Because once the NBA season starts again, we start getting a little bit excited and we start making these predictions and we start getting a little bit impatient, forgetting that the season ends again in June. It's only November. So you can't pick an MVP in November. You can't give somebody a contract in November. You can't pick a contender in November. It's November. We only played 1 month of basketball, and NBA season is starting at the beginning of October. So that's the end of October. And then you have to play through November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So when Deuce started off a little rough, I wasn't too concerned. It was a new system, and he's a player that he's very unsure of his role. He has been unsure of his role since in New York City. We're not sure if he's a starter. We're not sure if he's a sixth man. We're not sure if he's a seventh, eighth. We're not sure if he's a backup point guard. We're not sure if he's a shooting guard. He's not really a guy who's came into New York and has a clear role with any coach that he has had so far. And right now, this is where I feel like now he's starting to understand his role. And when someone starts to understand their role, they're able to play it. And I think that's what we're starting to see with Deuce. So I think a lot of people, when they started to write him off in the beginning of the season, even last year was hard for him, playing the inconsistent minutes that he was playing. And I actually think he was playing a decent amount of minutes at some point in this last season. So, but then coming into the season where you would think that he was the clear sixth man, and then we sign a guy like Jordan Clarkson, then we give Yabusele a deal, and then we also have Josh Hart not in the starting lineup, who is a starter kind of. So it kind of threw him off in the beginning of the season to me. I'm not saying this is any facts, it's just from the outside looking in why I think he came in struggling. Once these injuries went down and he realized I have to step up, that's what Miles has done his entire New York Knicks career. He has stepped up. That is why he eventually earned his minutes. As I remember, there was a couple years ago where he was talking to one of the rookies and he was saying, no matter how many minutes he gives you, you have to work hard, and that's how you get paid, or that's how you get any type of anything in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And he is able to give that advice because he does that. Whatever minutes he's given, I've never seen Deuce not try. I've never seen Deuce slack. Inconsistency happens. When you're a shooter, you're not going to hit the target every time. I don't know anybody who hits the bullseye 12 shots out of 12 bullets. So, but at some point, if you give me 12 more and I hit one bullseye, there's going to be a chance of me getting a couple more. So right. That's Deuce McBride to me. I think that for once, I shout out to Mike Brown for giving him the opportunity, because he's always been a guy that when he does get one, he does step up to it. So I will not write off Miles McBride, neither should you guys. Continue to give him a chance, because it's only November, and in November he is shooting the lights out. And he's another person that, hot take, I think he's going to be the guy who, I don't think he's going to have a good playoff game. He's going to have a good playoff series and be the big difference for us come and he will get paid this summer. And I unfortunately may not be with us, but that's a different topic. But he will get paid because of it. Hey! He'll get a ring with us. Don't worry about it. Whatever happens after that. But he is the guy that will get paid eventually. He's deserving to get paid. And he's not a guy who we should have written off just because he had a couple bad games. It's hard for him when you have a guy who kind of plays the same role as him as a Jordan Clarkson, who we have a Jalen Brunson. People forget he plays behind an MVP caliber player. So right. For him to come in and be so effective and finally finding his role, I'm excited to see how he continues to progress.
I'm going to see Ryan's hot take and B's hot take and raise it another hot take. I'm feeling the spirit, y'all.
Here we go.
Deuce McBride is better than Emmanuel Quickley. Point blank.
I agree.
That's why we tried. It's all right.
I agree.
We tried it quickly.
I agree.
Scores. Man, I gotta say it. Emmanuel Quickley, when he is impactful, he scores outside the flow of the offense. Mm-hmm. And Deuce McBride scores within the flow of the offense. Deuce McBride is more efficient. Deuce McBride was more clutch in the playoffs as a shooter, and Deuce McBride's a better defender. Overall, I think Deuce McBride is a better player than Emmanuel Quickley. And I'm not saying I just did crap on Quickley. That's what the eye test is telling me. And I want you guys to point out about the shooting. I want to point out two things that have really stood out to me this season that he has added to his game. And I think has elevated him the edge over Quickley. The first one is, this is why I brought up earlier, because I knew we were talking about Deuce. That full court press, who on the team is better at implementing that on our side than Deuce McBride? Did y'all see how he played Rollins tonight?
So
who was Ryan's 4-10? Why was he 4-10? Because by the time he gets to the half court line, he's exhausted from Deuce McBride face guarding him the entire time from the out of bounds, passing the inbounds, all the way down to the 3-point line. Deuce was relentless tonight in giving him unbelievable defense, no air. He's having to do all kinds of tricks, do the lead, spin, because Deuce was all over him, and the footwork was immaculate. Deuce McBride, defense. Second, this one, I've had to watch a couple of games to really get a groove on it. But an away screen is when you don't have the ball, you're not really near the action either. You're away from the action, and you screen without stopping toward the rim, right? So it's away from the action, and it's almost at a down screen where you're trying to drive. But what Deuce does, he turns that into a curl, and he ends up relocating. Typically in the corners, or he'll curl back around to the top of the key. That has been the action that has been he's set for himself to get him all of these wide open threes. And what it also does, it drats his defender. So sometimes he'll use that away screen, bring his defender up, and then Brunson gets a switch. And now Brunson's on whoever was guarding him, which is probably going to be a weaker defender than whoever is starting off on Brunson. So that little wrinkle, that action, does so many things to open up Jalen Brunson to have an easier shot if he decides to stay on ball, or Deuce McBride to then catch and shoot, which he is maybe number 1 or number 2 best catch and shoot 3-point shooter on this team. Those two little things I think have made Deuce McBride be indispensable. We have to go into the second apron to re-sign Deuce McBride, because adding things like that to his game is why B's prediction is going to be right, and why Ryan's prediction is going to be right, that Deuce McBride is going to have a moment, a game, a series in this championship run.
Yeah, man, I'm sold. If I wasn't sold on Deuce before, I'm definitely sold on him today or before. Like, I'm all, yeah, Deuce got to stay, damn it. I don't care.
That wasn't really, you're right, Lee. I never really noticed his IQ in the other season. I just always thought he was a good defender and decent shooter. But he has blown me away with how smart he is. He does play defense.
Yep. And now offense too.
You know what it is? It's the two-way. It's the two. Like, usually when you play bad defense, or when you exert yourself, when you play great defense and you exert yourself on one end, there's nothing to give on the other end.
Yeah.
You never see anything waver. It's 100% on defense, and it's 100% on offense. He's like, oh, I'm gonna slack off this play. Oh, I'm not gonna run back this time. It was like every single time playing started minutes, and he's still giving you 110%. That is freaking insane, and still able to hit clutch shots for you. Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone play Ryan Rollins better than Deuce played him tonight. That was the single best defensive coverage of Rollins. And Rollins is an MIP, probably front runner right now, and Deuce locked him up.
Yeah.
You know what's also insane, real quick? Every single arena that we go in, I hear Deuce, whether we're MSG or away.
Facts.
I heard it in Charlotte.
Fan
I heard
favorite.
it in Brooklyn. I heard it. Yeah, that's insane to me.
Now, factuals. Anything else you guys want to add today? I know I haven't talked about everybody. There's a couple people maybe you want to talk about.
I think
we better talk about Mitch Robinson.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think Mitch had a really solid game tonight. There were a few defensive miscues where I thought he was out of position on Giannis drives and Giannis seals, but damn it, it's Giannis. I'm not going to be too upset about that. But he had some really clutch rebounds. The free throws are still home.
Yeah.
I tell myself, Lee, don't get upset about things that you know are going to happen, right? You know Mitch is going to do free throws. Don't get upset about it. But it's just like, bro, you know, like Stan Van Gundy's commentary, like recalibrate, right? A little bit. And he's like, oh, never mind, too. So, he just doesn't have the IQ for it, I guess. But defensively, he sure as hell does. I thought he did a pretty good job. There were a couple of specific plays that didn't smile his Turner. I thought he was really good at denying him. And there's one play in particular, I think it was the third quarter on Giannis, where he played really good defense that forced Giannis to give it up, even outside of his comfort zone. He was too far away to put the ball on the floor, and he didn't have a good outlet drive to the basket, so he had to pass it. And I was like, that screwed up their entire offensive flow, and they ended up taking a bad shot from three. So I thought Mitch has moments. Again, great rebounder. What do you have, 7 tonight? 8? I'm not sure.
7.
7. Like that's a solid game from Mitch off the bench, where I think he should come. He should be off the bench, in my opinion. I think it's time to go fully 5 out and utilize Cat at the 5 and have Mitch as a backup, because I'm the Yabusele at the 5, bro. It's untenable. He needs to be the backup 4 and stay at the backup 4.
That's what we need to find. Not no backup point guard.
Yeah,
Agreed.
facts. Yeah, I believe that, especially with the way the Knicks been playing so far with the 5 out, it's hard to go back on that now, especially when you see the impact that Mitch is giving off the bench, because it seems like, at least so far this season, the games he's come off the bench, I'm finding he's having more of an impact than when he starts. And I'm noticing that I think Mike Brown is leaving him out there longer now. It's not the same 3-4 minute spurts anymore. It looks like it's increasing a little bit. So I think they're increasing the time he's on the court more as time goes on, as the season goes on. But yeah, Mitch was definitely impactful. We already know what he brings. The missed free throws, I don't even worry about that anymore, because at the end of the day, he's not going to be in the game in the last 2 minutes when, free throws are definitely crucial. So him missing free throws don't really bother me anymore. It's Mitch. He's going to miss his free throws, but overall, I do think solid game. I do think at times he played really solid defense on Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're not going to hold him every single play. I mean, it's impossible. The man's a beast. It's impossible. But I think he did play good defense on him at times. And overall, I just think he had a good game. And I agree with Lee. I think from here on out, he needs to come off the bench as opposed to starting, because that 5-out lineup is working pretty well for the Knicks right now.
I agree. I was kind of back and forth with it because I'm big on Mitch starting, but hearing you guys explain it and looking at it and the way that you guys looking at it, it does make sense to keep Hart out there, because now that you kind of flip it, Hart seems like he does thrive more in the starting position, and Mitch is okay with Mitch could start or come off the bench. Some people can't do that, which is why they have those type of roles. They have a certain 6-man, and people play well in those positions. It seems like Mitch is okay, because that was the first time where I thought we can win the game. When they started off the game hitting all those threes, I said, here we go, it's going to be a long night. I don't know if we have a chance, especially if they were going to shoot at that percentage. If they were shooting 55% for the rest of the night and shooting 55% from the field, it was going to be a tough night. On top of that, Giannis already had a double-double by halftime. But there was a moment where Mitch came in and Brunson dished it off to him and he got a dunk. And then I believe he got like an offensive rebound and got another dunk. And then there was another dunk. He had like 3 dunks in like 80 seconds. And I said, oh yeah, no, we're going to win this game. And once he started that's when you saw other people come in, like Tyler Kolek come in and start to impact the game and hit a 3 and impact the game. That's when Deuce exploded and started being offensive. So that's what I thought Josh Hart could have been for us coming to the game. But Josh Hart clearly shows that he starts the game off. He gets into a groove. If guys like Towns are struggling, we can have Mitch come in and take his position and blow the game a little open. So that's where I just wanted to express Mitch Robinson, because that was the key moment in what I was watching, and I realized that we can actually win this game today. Speaking of that too, I think, speaking of bigs, Karl was 9 for 10, had 9 points today, 10 rebounds, and I know a lot of people are going to start talking about Karl Towns again. I think matchup is what's important, which is why I'm glad we actually have the luxury that we could be like, oh, when Shaman comes back, OG comes back, and we can actually fool around with these lineups, because we never had that luxury over the years with the New York Knicks. So the thing with Karl Towns is, I think a lot of people, I'm not the biggest fan, but at the end of the day, facts are facts. I think a lot of people seem to forget who was playing on the other end. It was Miles Turner. Miles Turner is a great defender in the thing. He's not going to allow Karl Towns to do whatever he wants to do. So that's why Karl Towns struggled tonight. Miles Turner was giving him a problem. On top of that, Giannis was down there as well. Miles and Giannis, they play well down there. And speaking of that, I'm glad we have a team, like we said in the beginning, that you build around your system. And our system is Jalen Brunson, and you have to continue to build around him. So it's nice to see that I remember hearing a lot like, we don't have playmakers. Now we have guys who can create their own shot, who can set the ball up, who can run the point guard. If Jalen Brunson decides, I want to score 40 points tonight, so what? And the same thing with Milwaukee. If you look at Milwaukee, their structure, they have a guy who their star cannot shoot. He cannot shoot the ball. And that's where I brought up Mitch too. When Mitch was in, that's when Giannis was attempting 3-pointers and shooting mid-ranges. And it's like, he's not going in as much as when he saw Hart down there, when he saw Mikal down there, when he decided, I'm going to shoot the ball a little bit. And please do, because you cannot shoot. By the way, I think whoever's teaching Giannis how to shoot free throws should teach Mitch, because how does he make free throws? I don't know. But anyway, so I don't want to be too harsh on. I just wanted to go over a little bit. I didn't want to be too harsh on Karl Towns today. Miles Turner did a great job on him. He did a great job on in the paint in general, which is why we do need Mitch to come in sometimes and just change the game, because his 6 points is rare. I think his 6 points is like Karl getting 20, 25. Mitch is not going to come in and exceed past 2 or 4 points if they're not a lob or they're not this. But I saw him today crashing the boards and getting those points. So it was nice. If you hit the free throws, you probably would have had 8 or 9 points. But it's Mitch from the free throw line. So I think we all have to just remember matchup is important. And that's why it's nice to see that we could fluctuate the different lineups. We could throw in Miles in the starting lineup. We could throw in Hart. Depends on who we're playing. Because, again, like a Milwaukee team, I'm okay with the lineup that we chose today.
So I think I might be the only one who's still on the fence about starting Josh Hart full time. And
no, I'm against it too.
Yeah,
okay, you're against it too.
I'm 100%.
That's why I'm like, matchup matters, because
okay,
if we're playing OKC, I think we should start.
Start Shaman or Deuce for me.
Yeah. Yes. That's like we have the luxury now. We have to see who.
Okay.
We have so many different options.
Yeah, I think it benefits the Knicks now to have Josh Hart in the starting lineup due to injuries. When the team's fully healthy, Josh Hart comes off the bench.
Yep. Okay. That makes more. Okay. I can wrestle with that more. You know what it is? Yeah, I think it's about flexibility, because I am having. You know what? Josh Hart had a great year last year starting.
Yeah.
For half of the season. And the second half of the season, he seemed to run out of gas. Maybe he's the coach who was playing him too many minutes, and that's why he ran out of gas. But also, when it came to the playoffs and we starting at the 4 with these big lineups, it seemed like he was ineffective, and we didn't start winning until Mitch got into the starting lineup. So that's why I'm just like, I like what I'm seeing right now today, but I feel like that. Will I feel like that in a month? I don't know. It might depend on the matchup. But I don't want to take anything away from what Josh Hart's been doing lately, because he's been freaking phenomenal. I want to keep that train going downhill. So I absolutely love what Josh Hart is doing. Now, when it pertains to Karl-Anthony Towns and his performance, I think you're right. I think he's having a tough time scoring against Miles Turner. That block was a doozy when he tried to get a layup on Miles Turner on a blow by, and that's usually his move, and he sent him to the floor. It was like, oof. But at the same time, it's like he still finds it's one of those games where you got to kind of like get your ego out the way. And I feel like he at least did a good job containing his ego, because I felt like the last time versus the Bucks, he didn't do a good job of containing his ego. And it was like we're going to the post every single time, and it wasn't effective. This time he had 4 assists, which is a pretty good passing game from Karl-Anthony Towns. He had 10 rebound game. He had 2 huge offensive rebounds. So it's like he's still a multi-dimensional, multiple skill set big. So even if you shut down one area, he still has other ways to affect the game. And he affected the game in other areas today. So you got to give him that credit.
Nothing seemed forced. It just looked like nothing was falling for him. When he was missing, like just even though he got fouled and he was getting to the line, he like missed the layup. Like it was the easy layup, and it just went right over the backboard.
Yeah.
And we've seen Karl have bad nights, so it's cool.
I am absolutely convinced that these bum-ass Twitter dummies do not watch any other team but the New York Knicks. The only time they watch opposing teams is when the Knicks are playing them, because they act like no other player, if it's outside of the top 10 players in NBA, outside of SGA, Joker, Luka, whoever, don't have up and down moments in the season. Don't go through rough shooting stretches. Like, I say this. Remember last year, bro, I say this almost every damn game. Watch the rest of the NBA. You don't have to try to watch it like a coach. Just watch it casually. Just look at the box scores, and you'll see, oh, damn, this player, who's the second best player on their team, hasn't made a 3 in 2 games. Or this player, all of a sudden, is cratering at 21%. Does Paolo Banchero suck? Honest, does he suck? No. He's a great player going through a rough stretch. Karl-Anthony Towns isn't even as good as Paolo Banchero, but he's going through a rough stretch as well. But what I liked about his performance tonight, he didn't chuck. Julius Randle would have been in a different situation. Randle would have been like 4 of 25. Karl-Anthony Towns was only 2 of 8. Only took 2 3-pointers. Right. I like that. He still gave you 10 boards, 3 of them offensive. Maybe 4 dimes, 1 block. Like, I mean, come on, man. He played within the flow of the offense. He found his teammates, and I liked how he was in the offensive boards. When there were misses, he was always crashing a glass for those putbacks too. Like, damn, man. These people act like that no one goes through up and down stretches. Everyone does, but like a handful of dudes. Brunson's one of those dudes. Be thankful we have one on our team, and allow the other guys who aren't Jalen Brunson to not be Jalen Brunson and go through those stretches. It's like, damn, man, he will come back around.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. And to kind of hop on what Lee said really quickly. There's only a few players in this league that's gonna put up big numbers pretty much every single night, and those are the superstar players. Like, they're called superstars for a reason. No matter if they're shooting well, not shooting it well, whatever the case may be, those kind of players always find a way to put points on the board no matter what. Other players in the NBA, like Lee said, they're going to struggle from time to time. Nobody's perfect. We're all human. Nobody's a robot on the court. There's going to be games where guys are going to have, bad stats. There's going to be stretches where, someone can't find their shot. I mean, if you play any sport whatsoever and have any experience playing a sport, like, there's going to be times when, you shoot the basketball and it's just not going in for you. And it feels right coming out of your hand, but it's just not going in. You're just like, what the hell? Like, what am I doing wrong? So to have this expectation that, Cat is going to give you 20 and 10 every single night, that's not reality. He's going to have bad games. But like Lee and B said, it's what he does when he's not having a good game. And tonight, he rebounded the ball, 10 rebounds. He found other teammates, 4 assists. And I think he had did he have a block? Yeah, he also had a block as well. So that's what shows a player's value. When they have bad games, and despite having bad games, they're still able to go out there and impact the game in different ways. And that's what Karl-Anthony Towns did tonight. He's going to come around. He's a good enough player where he's going to find his rhythm sooner or later. And he's going to start draining the threes and things of that nature. But I think especially in the last few games, what I like about Karl-Anthony Towns is a shot selection. The shot selection it's not a heavy dose of threes anymore, where it's like he's 1 of 10 from 3, and he's still chucking up threes, trying to score. Like, he's playing within himself right now. It's like he's realizing, like, you know what, tonight is not my night. Let me try to do other things, in the game to impact it in other ways, and let me not chuck up a lot of shots. And that's what I like about Karl-Anthony Towns, like the last 3 or 4 games. So despite the fact he had a bad game, he still impacted the game in other ways. And I just hope that this new shot diet that he's having, this new shot selection that it seems like he's figuring out, I just hope it continues, because when he stays within himself and not chuck a lot of shots when he's not hot, it helps the team out more, because he's not giving up a lot of offensive possessions, a lot of offensive opportunities, and he's playing within the flow of the game. So, yeah, man. I mean, despite having the bad stats, Cat still impacted the game other ways.
Yeah.
It's one thing. It's like level 1 idiot when you're like, oh, Karl-Anthony Towns such a bum. We need to trade him. Level 2 idiot, and this is where I had no interest in engaging with you, is when he started with the trade machine and said, let's trade that for Anthony Davis. I'm like, bro, you're proving to me that you haven't watched Anthony Davis since the bubble, because you're asking to trade a player who is always
you can't
available.
Watch him. He doesn't play.
For a player who is never available. Or let's trade Karl-Anthony Towns for Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, let's get worse on defense and worse 5 out. Sabonis, great passer, but does he impact winning? They made the playoffs 1 time. Maybe they made it twice. They've never done out of the first round with him. He is not someone that when you have on your team as the best player, you're guaranteed to the playoffs. You don't trade your second best player for guys like that. You trade them for upgrades, not lateral moves. So just don't be if you're gonna be a dummy, don't be level 2. Just be level 1.
Was you wait? Oh, was that from? You was around for my debate with the.
I just saw like Lori marketing. Like, come on, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's get fleeced by Danny Ainge for a worse player than Cat. That sounds great. Yeah.
You got to give up 5 first-round picks. 6 second-round picks.
I can't say, as being a New York fan across the board, I'm a Yankees fan, I'm a Liberty fan, I'm a Giants fan, and I'm also a Knicks fan. And when we draft players or when we acquire them, the bar is high. Like, playing in New York City, I will not lie and act like, because I do watch like Lee said, you got to watch other teams play. The bar is very high, because I've seen people, I just saw Evan Mobley have a terrible month, and nobody said anything about him. Nobody said a single thing about the Cavs not playing well and Evan Mobley being traded. There was nothing. It was just, oh, he'll be better. But Cat has a bad game, and it's like, oh, let's trade him. It's because we're in New York City. So I do understand it. The bar is high. We're hungry for a championship. And when you play with us, we prefer perfection. That's just the type of city we are. That's the type of fan base we are. So I'm not going to be a little delusional to the fact that sometimes I fall into that too. I'm like, but when being more of a basketball fan, you have to just be, like Lee said, a little bit realistic. I think a lot of people stat watch versus impact to the game. A lot of these guys that you're asking for has not even been to the playoffs, let alone a Western Conference or Eastern Conference appearance at all. A lot of these guys cannot shoot the 3-ball at all, like or as well as Karl-Anthony Towns. And Karl-Anthony Towns, I think people again forget, he started off the season with an injury that he played through. He played through an injury. You can't ask for anything more like a toughness. People want to call him soft or whatever the word is, or gay or whatever. I don't know what they think of him. I think it's just a lot of the fact that when people set expectations or they don't get what they want, they start to create different narratives. And I think that's all Karl-Anthony Towns has to deal with since he's been playing for the New York Knicks. I have not seen a soft player for the New York Knicks. He's not probably the guy like Anthony Edwards where he's going to trash talk you and put his chest out and do this and do that. But I've seen this guy play through family, personal matters. I've seen this guy play through droughts and then come back and have a big game. I've seen this guy show up multiple games in the playoffs to help us not only win the game but win the series. I've seen this guy throughout the season. I know I saw people too like, oh, he had a good game against Charlotte and Brooklyn, and of course when he plays in Milwaukee he sucks. That's why again I stated you have to watch basketball. Miles Turner is no slouch. We might not be a fan because he was a former Pacer, but he's no slouch in the paint. I don't know how many people is having a fun night against Miles Turner in the paint. By the way, I heard a fun fact today. He's like there's only 3 people who has 18,000 threes and something thousand blocks. Like him, Rasheed Wallace, and someone else are the only people to do that. Yes, Brook Lopez are the only people to do that. He's in a different category himself. It's not like when he had players like Sarr and even Gobert, who I think is overrated and things like that, he showed up and he played very well against those guys. But Miles Turner is not no slouch. Neither is Giannis. Giannis is also the former Defensive Player of the Year. So you have to understand the matchup before we start to have conversations about why such a terrible game was given. It just wasn't his night, and when he realized it wasn't, he then facilitated and did other things for our team.
Damn it, the old lead's coming out. Listen, there's a tier 3 idiot. I didn't want to go here. Here's tier 3 idiot. Is saying I want to trade Karl-Anthony Towns for Julius Randle. What in the hell, y'all? What in the hell? You know what else is tier 3 idiot? Is calling Karl-Anthony Towns gay. Have you seen who Karl-Anthony Towns' baddie is? Look, don't Google Jordan
Woods.
Google Jordan Woods. Get a picture of Jordan Woods.
A bone.
Then upload a picture of whoever you're dating and compare it to. If Karl-Anthony Towns is gay, you might be RuPaul. So just check yourself next time you want to make comparisons about a man's masculinity. That man is dating a baddie who loves him and goes out of her way to make sure that he's right mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. She's holding down the fort, man. That's a queen right there. Don't call that man gay or soft. He plays hurt, as B said, plays hurt in the playoffs, and still because you're 20-10, man. Enough with the BS. Don't be a tier 3 idiot.
He was just raised right. I think a lot of people just confuse that. People forget that he was just raised right. That's all.
This is gonna be a tier 4 by the time this program ends. I promise you. Tier 4.
I ain't trying to be the old league.
Nah, I mean, this is the bad thing about being an idiot. Like, it spreads. So I mean, right, like today there's a tier 3, but tomorrow's gonna be a tier 4. The next day after that's gonna be a tier 5. Like, so it's gonna keep going. Idiocy does not have a level. Like, it just keeps growing over time. So
look at our political situation. There's definitely a tier 10 for sure.
This is mad tears, yo. Oh man, he's like, don't bring back the old Lee. This is the baptized Lee, all right?
Man, I'm trying to be a new man, bro.
And another thing,
y'all don't bring that demon out.
Forget. When he was about to score 60, whatever, he said to himself, I pulled myself back because the win was more important. We got the win tonight. Who cares how much he had?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
The win. I just saw K drop and Anthony Edwards drop whatever they did in the last 2 games. Their teams had both on a losing streak. So I don't care how much you score. It's about the team, and the team got the dub today.
Yep.
The team got the W. For sure. Anything else you want to mention tonight?
Because by the way, you know had a terrible game. I was a little shocked and I made a little face. Jordan Clarkson was 2 for 13, guys.
Ass.
Yeah,
Jordan Clarkson was really butt cheeks. The only thing
that shocked me. I knew I was watching it, but I didn't know it was that bad.
I knew it was that bad.
That's a bad game. That's a terrible game.
He was pissing me off because I felt like, you know what it is? Jordan Clarkson has these games where he chucks and it works, and then he has games where he chucks and it doesn't work. Today was one of those games where he chucked and it doesn't work because sometimes what happens is the Knicks will swing the ball around the perimeter and there's an open guy, and I felt like 3 times straight he failed to like swing it to the open guy, decided to take it to himself, and got stripped or blocked. People were talking about Tyler Kolek's impact. I feel like a lot of those times Tyler Kolek was that open guy, and Tyler kind of actually probably had like a good 11 points, 11, 12 points tonight if he got that extra swing from Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson just refused to give the damn ball. But what Jordan Clarkson did do in the first half was 3 offensive rebounds, which is pretty good, and he dined up Mitchell Robinson. And I feel like he had another good pass. So, like, I feel like the first half he was pretty good. The second half,
Brunson, I think,
booty butt cheeks.
I think he had a pass to Brunson too for 3.
Right.
Correctly.
That's why watching is important, because the fact that you mentioned it, I didn't see him do any of that. I just kept seeing him miss.
Yeah, he missed a lot. He missed a lot.
I didn't know he missed that much. Jesus Christ. But yeah.
I was just like, I was looking down the bench. Like, can anybody else come in? I was like, damn, everybody else is injured. Everybody else is injured. I was like, can anybody else?
Never mind.
Somebody, please get this man, because he was pissing me off.
I mean, with the bricks Jordan Clarkson was throwing up tonight, like there was a new brownstone built on Flatbush Avenue. With the bricks he was throwing up tonight.
It is the quality of brick. It's not like open shot brick. You know what I'm saying? That's a different brick.
Yo.
There's a brick quality, all right?
There's tiers to the bricks, guys.
There is tiers to the bricks as well.
Tier 4 brick.
Yeah.
That's what he was shooting.
You got tier 4 brick, and then you have LaMelo Ball brick.
Yeah, that's like God.
I'm so mad I missed that Hornets podcast. Jeez.
Oh boy, like if you saw how LaMelo Ball played in that game, you would have been like, "What the f?" At some of the shots that dude threw up. I was like, "What is going on with this dude?"
Yeah.
I was like, Fritz, you need to come up here and explain yourself, bro. Why have you been making LaMelo Ball trades? I need an explanation, bro.
Yeah, please, no. Please, no. All right. That's all. And shout out to Josh Hart for getting to the free throw line 10 times.
Man.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Him and Brunson. The free throws and the offensive rebounds really kept us in the game.
Yep.
And by the time we started making shots, it was too late for them. But those really kept us in the game when we wasn't really hitting those shots. So shout out to Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and the team for just doing his job and keeping our identity from last year, which was getting those offensive rebounds no matter what. All right. Anything else you guys want to add, or do you want to go to the bro picks?
I'm excited. I didn't know we had the Hornets next. The Raptors next.
Ooh, when is the Raptors?
That's Sunday. I'm excited for that. So yeah, let's just get the bro picks because I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. My sound effects have been kind of weird. Hold on. Let me see. I got the bro pick. All right, let's go. Now it's time for the other part of the show. Bro picks. Bro picks are usually something stupid, dumb, idiotic that you want to point out and say this is stupid, dumb, or idiotic. And when you see something like that, we give it a. Anybody have a bro tonight?
I have one.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to do my usual searching for bro picks because it was Thanksgiving and I was way too busy to do so.
I know cupcakes, man. I feel you. Cupcakes.
Yeah. I do have one bro pick, and we talk about players that don't impact winning and things of that nature. One of those players happens to be Zach LaVine, currently in Sacramento.
Nice.
So this is what happened. So I followed this dude on Instagram too. He's SIA Collective. He's from Brooklyn. He went into the military. He started his own sneaker company. He pretty much built himself from the ground up. So he's a season ticket holder in Sacramento. So I forgot who the Kings were playing against, but he started to go off on Zach LaVine bench, basically saying that we didn't pay our hard-earned money to see you not play defense, basically. and then Zach LaVine basically said told him to go home or whatever the case may be. Responded to him, and then he started to go off in the stands and the security had to kind of hold him back a bit because they were like he was going off, and he saw like Russell Westbrook and them just looking at the dude, and it was crazy. So after the game, he did like he made a video where he was talking to explaining his stance, whatever the case may be, and he was basically saying like, "Yo, Zach LaVine missed a defensive assignment not once, not twice." Not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, but 6 times in the damn game. And he was basically saying that, it's one thing, to go out there, and play with effort and although you play with effort, the guys are scoring on you. But it's another thing where you're just going out there with no effort whatsoever and not caring when you're on the court. And that's basically what Zach LaVine is. He's going out there playing ball according to the fans, and he's just not giving a damn. And then, it was funny because I was going through the comments, and there were Bulls fans in the comments, and the Bulls fans were basically saying, like, that's typical of Zach LaVine. They're saying the dude plays when he wants to play. Like, he'll have one game where he's going to show effort on the court, and then he's going to have another game where he's just not going to care. And and it just shows that that's why this dude has not had success in his career because he's not playing with the same care he should for every single game of the season. Some games he cares, some game he don't care. Right. And if you're already a poor defender as it is, and you're going to go into games not really giving a damn, I mean, come on, like, what you on the court for?
Yeah.
By the way, you said he's from Brooklyn, but a Sacramento fan? That's where he went right. He's a broad pick.
He's a living bro.
I might as well sense, man.
It's like he grew up in Brooklyn, then after the military he relocated to Cali, and then all of a sudden, he just
peer pressure.
Yeah, you're NBA fan. You gotta watch the NBA.
Yeah.
Oof. That's still a bad choice. I
would have just been a Brooklyn Nets fan, man.
All fans of California. He's like, all right, you got Clippers, you got Sacramento, you got LA. He's like, all right, I'm gonna
let me choose the worst.
Yeah, okay.
Choose the worst. Speaking of terrible organizations, I have a broad pick.
Okay.
Oh,
the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think ever since I think people, because they draft pretty decently, people seem to forget that they're a terrible organization in general. From letting Kevin Garnett walk, letting Stephon Marbury become a stud and not even keep him as a rookie. The list goes on and on of how they just let people walk out. They also gave us Karl-Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, who they are now trying to trade, but they cannot because they don't have any first-round draft picks. I think a lot of people seem to forget, like Lee says, they watch their favorite team and they like to compare, forgetting that there's other teams in other positions. People always talk about, you guys gave up this many picks for Mikal, but if we wanted to make a move right now, we can, because we still have some kind of picks available, and we have key players available. And right now they have Julius Randle right now that nobody wants Julius Randle for just Julius Randle if you're not giving us anything else outside of Julius Randle. So just again, the Timberwolves doing bad business. It's not the new to me. It's a team organization that I always think for years is very poor. No matter who they have as their, I think Anthony Edwards should get out of there as soon as he's another one that should just go while he can, because they're going to mishandle a lot of things going forward, because going from the Western Conference Finals now to trading a key piece and not having a point guard to even get back to that position is nowhere where the Knicks are right now. The Knicks are not, we're looking again to get into the Eastern Conference Finals. And we have pieces that we can move if that doesn't seem possible by the trade deadline. And that's not so much the case for Minnesota. So I just wanted to give that out. It's not a bash to Julius Randle. I enjoy Julius Randle's time with us. But again, once you're out of a Knicks uniform, I could care less what you do with your life. Unless you're Jalen Brunson, of course. But
that's never gonna happen.
I think that's crazy now that they're looking to trade him after just a year. And not having anything to get back for him because they don't have anything else available to give. And then they drafted Rob Dillingham to not even use the kid, to not even put his trade value up to be able to use him. They're just a poor organization, and I think a lot of
future first.
What happened?
They gave up a future first rounder.
Right.
Incredible.
And they talk about how we do business. I think there's a lot of other, you guys got to just look around sometimes. I know the Knicks are your favorite team and it's hard to, but you guys got to look around and see how other teams do business, like the Sacramento Kings, like the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're terrible. Do you think things are hard for us? They are terrible. And it's crazy to see just a year later how they're trying to get rid of Julius Randle.
Bruh. The Dante DiVincenzo trade, I guess. All right.
Right. Hey, I'll take it. If you want Daddick, we'll take Julius Randle back. Well, that's all I'm giving you for.
I got 2 ooh pits. First ooh pit for everyone who had to work on Thanksgiving, specifically the guy who drove the bus, the paratransit that picked up me and my mom, did us to a diner, the waitresses and managers and cooks that worked that David made our food and bring it out. Man, shout out hardworking Americans that have to work on the holidays, can't spend time with their family because they have to pay the bills. It's a tough time out there, but I'm grateful that there was someone available to pick us up and drop us off, because my mom's very immobile in her wheelchair. So it was great to be able to spend the holidays with the person I love the most. And then second ooh pit. I think there's a new candidate for most funniest person on Twitter. Let me I'll be the motivator, man. I don't know if you don't follow Be the Motivator, go right now to Twitter, unfollow your local Twitter Uncle Bum, and follow Be the Motivator for absolute hilarity on everything NBA. She uses that Charlie Murphy gif from the Chappelle Show. Bro. Every time inside some bum-ass organization doing a bum-ass move, she'll drop that gif. It shows up on a timeline. It don't matter what I'm doing. Drinking coffee, smoking a spliff, reading a comic. I drop everything and laugh my ass off. I love her on Twitter. She is hilarious. And she's like me. She's at her best when she's roasting people. So I got a special opinion in my heart for her jokes.
Thank you.
All right. Solid ooze. All right. I think we did it, guys. All right, yo, that's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like, hit the subscribe button too, and share if you enjoyed this conversation. I thought this was a damn good episode. There was a lot of fire takes, a lot of them. Oh man, so I hope you enjoyed this episode for sure. And for people who are watching on Twitter and been watching for a while, it's like, man, I really want to support these guys. Hey man, come over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel, man. That's the biggest way you can support us now, because we're trying to get to 10K subscribers. Yep. And you can be the guy who's going to get us to the guy who's going to get us to the guy who's going to get us to 10K subscribers. So come over and help us reach our goal and join the community, man. It's not just to join, but it's like this dope people over here on the YouTube community for the KOT show that interacts with each other. All right, so get to know those people as well. All right, yo. Also, super chats and stuff is always welcome. Helps keep the lights on, helps pay for StreamYard and all this other stuff. So if you want to support us that way, you can also do that. All right, that is the show. Thank you guys for watching. B, let them know they can find you, B.
On Twitter, like my boy Lee said, Sporty Spice, SportySpicce. I love to talk Knicks, but I also love to talk basketball. So yes, like your.
All right. Lee, let them know they can find you, sir.
Today, instead of following me, go follow my main man, Jeffrey Clafter, who was from the Dope Soul Sports Network, who was in here the entire episode, giving his commentary in the chats. Some things I agree with, some things I don't, but that's why I love him. You can follow him at GAK02B, Jeffrey Clafter. Also, his blog, Clafter Ever After, is a great read for New York Knicks recaps and previews.
All right, Ryan G, let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin.
Sir G is chillin.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN.
All right. You can find me at the KOTO Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook as well. That is the show. Wait, hold on. I'm not in my usual space.
I was trying to find the standings real quick. Are the Raptors still on a winning streak?
I think they lost recently.
Okay. We're still going to beat them. I was going to give a hot take. I thought we were going to snap their winning streak, but either way, still, we're going to beat the Raptors on Sunday.
We're going to beat the Raptors, damn it. We have to. All right. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
The mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here.
Matter of fact, the Raptors are on a 9-game winning streak. They are on a winning streak.
Yep.
Hot take. We are going to snap that baby.
Let's go.
That's a great way to end it.
Yes, sir. Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams. dreams.
NYC.